Hello, how are you? Do you like my mug? It's not really my mug. What does it say? I'm not responsible for what my face does when you talk. I have to read that backwards because it shows up forwards for you. I am not at my home. Once again, I'm at the home of client friends. So many client friends. I'm so grateful. And yeah, super grateful when they let me hang out with their animals and film video of my readings at their homes. It's a win-win because I get to spend more time with their animals just chilling, like Bob Dylan, and also I get to use their intranet since I choose not to have internet at my house. That's a whole nother conversation. So it's right now it's getting to be time to go out and tend the llamas, put them all to bed. Not quite yet. So I thought I'd try to fit in a reading of what are we on now? Chapter 3. We're on chapter 3. Chapter 3. Okay, cool. Hang on. Check out the art. Read the important art while I'm gathering my book. Pony's very excited. He is excited to go out. Ooh, can I sit on this? I think I can. I can't see you at all when I have these glasses on. Do you know that's my trick when I'm in a bookstore or the library or in a coffee shop or anything like that, and I'm reading my book, is that I have on my glasses and I can't see. I can look up at people, but I can't really see them. They're all blurry. And that, and that helps me give the illusion of making eye contact while still retaining some sense of like, I'm okay. There's not a bunch of people looking at me. Shia, are you going to be able to read this with me, or are you going to have to get down? All right, so where do we think chapter 3 is? Oh, we can look in the opening pages, and that will tell us. Please hold. That's your hold music. Chapter 3 is called The Light. It's on page 32. There, I saw Mama Cat go skirting that way. Pony, pony, pony. Hi, yeah, give her space. Go lie down, please. Ivy's laying here listening. That's so sweet. There's Manu. We're all good. All right, chapter 3, The Light. Pony has a B-A-L-L. That could prove to be distracting. Pony, can you lay down, please? Lie down. You're okay. Lie down. Good. All right. It opens with a quote by Mary Oliver. Still, all I want in my life is to be willing to be dazzled, to cast aside the weight of facts, and maybe even to float a little above this difficult world. Mary Oliver. Tuesday, November 24th, 2020, 7:21 a.m. I spent my quiet morning time sleeping until 6 a.m., then posting photos on Facebook from yesterday of my nature walk at Mount Ouray Wildlife Area with Fisher and the dogs, postcard-worthy mountains looming in the distance. I then sent a friend, via messenger, a beautiful poem that a childhood friend, Erin, had written and posted on Facebook. Moments later, I found myself messaging with that friend about why she was not able to view it. Gah! Technology, my nemesis. I cut and pasted the poem for her. Precious moments of my quiet time, swiped sneakily away by technological silliness. And so it goes sometimes. As I typed in the comments section to Aaron earlier, his poem stirred my heart. I will have to copy it down in real handwriting in my journal. It's so interesting to me that Aaron and I have been acquainted since 3rd grade at Hoyt School in Madison. In 4th grade, we became friends with the beautiful, olive-skinned Antony, a year younger than us, with whom I would grow up to be good friends, housemates, bandmates, even lovers eventually. and I always adored his calm, cool mum. While Aaron and I never got particularly close. There was always a distance between us, despite running in overlapping social circles, and my vague, lingering crush on him somewhere into high school. He was like Duran Duran, the entire band, and David Bowie, all wrapped up in one. As young kids, Aaron, Anthony, and I used to go snake hunting on the railroad tracks, capturing the serpents gently by hand, always releasing them eventually, though sometimes we might keep them a while as pets. Aaron's family was on a pedestal in my eyes. I remember feeling awkward in their presence, always afraid I'd say or do something dumb. Their artistic old house smelled of spices and wood, and was filled with books, animals, and beautiful artifacts collected from worldly travels. Aaron's older sister and his parents seemed uber hip and smart to me, and were into music like the Beatles. They had an African gray parrot who spoke in full sentences, and a Siamese cat with an exotic Egyptian name. The family had piranhas in a large tank upstairs, and Aaron had a boa constrictor named Mr. Bill. He introduced me to the concept of rats as pets, which became an early staple of my affinity for beastly companions, well into my teenage years, before developing a tragic allergy to rodents. I acquired my first baby rat from Aaron, naming her Petite Repel, Little Rascal in French, as I'd looked it up in my dad's French-English dictionary. My nearest brush with feeling worldly. She otherwise would have been a meal for Bill. I remember watching in horror one time as Aaron dropped a baby Pinky into the piranha tank just for effect. The image is forever emblazoned in my mind of the embryo-looking infant sinking slowly with a pendulum sway through the water, motionless, helpless, its tiny pink paws curled toward its chest, while the piranhas swam toward it, and I quickly turned away. Ooh, I'm getting a hot flash. And I don't know that it's going to work for Shai to be in my lap, because she just wants me to pet her. Oh my goodness, you guys. Mwah. I love you. And also, nope, go lie down. Nope, go lie down, please. You need a little space. Goodness. Ivy's got the right idea. She's just all sprawled out on the tile. Now, here. There are thick flakes of snow, swirling snow globe style outside these townhouse windows, where I sit warm and comfortable at my guest room desk. Hey, you guys, go lie down, please. Go lie down. Lie down. Now Pony and Shia are playing. Go lie down. Shia. Oh, wow. Yeah, we might need to pause this. No, we can do it. We can do it. We got it. Shai-Shai's got the ball now. Oh my gosh, chaos. Yeah, there are thick flakes of snow swirling snow globe style outside these townhouse windows, where I sit warm and comfortable at my guest room desk. The wee rat dog, Ashaya, is curled on my lap as I write. Apollo the cat and Anzu, my beloved res dog, ball chaser, bosser of all other dogs, and herder of pescary cats, lay curled on the double guest bed behind me. The elderly Manu Chihuahua left the room for a couple of minutes, but now has returned to the bed. I'm really hoping he didn't go out to the living room to pee, as Fisher did let both wee dogs outside when we first got up, before the snow began. We try to stay on top of that. Well, certainly I try, though perhaps it is not of so much concern to the young teenager who, understandably, has other things on his mind. Even so, it is not unheard of to find dried pea on the corner of the wall. Old man Manu is undoubtedly the culprit, as the only one of the 3 dogs who lifts his leg. She's having fun with that ball. I hear Fisher splash a little with his long, teenaged boy limbs and pull the plug in the bathtub upstairs. I hear water drain melodiously through pipes in the walls off to my left. All of my animal care clients have been informed of our COVID test yesterday and that we are on hunker-in orders pending test results, as well as our symptoms subsiding. My lungs feel rather thick, and Fisher sneezed heartily this morning as he was letting the small dogs out, but I don't have the headache I woke up with yesterday. That is good. To be honest, I'm grateful to have an excuse to putter around indoors on this gray and snowy winter day. To putter seems like the perfect thing to do. Wednesday, November 25th, 2020. Still dark out. My guess is 5:30 or so. When Dan and I spoke on the phone yesterday for about 2 hours, while I churned out gluten-free chocolate blueberry pancakes for Fisher, and he worked on projects, listening to music with his headphones on, there was a point where I said something about my own struggles, to which Dan interjected, "You? Struggle?" I thought at first he was being sarcastic, having known me from way back in the days of youthful torment, when we were both just barely into our 20s, so young and lovely and naive. When he was the beautiful bass player of a prominent Madison band, and I was the deep-feeling romantic, to be swayed readily by his creativity and by his charming ways. But no, he meant it. Apparently from afar, it seems to him that I have it all together, even if only compared to some. It is all about perspectives, I know, and this is not about comparisons, this life. With that in mind, I accepted the compliment and moved on. From my perspective, I struggle, and have always struggled, even through exuberance and fleeting moments of bliss. I find myself drawn again and again to external stimulation, though I know intellectually, as well as in my heart, that the feelings of wholeness and satiation I crave can only come from within. I have not done yoga or meditated in several days, maybe weeks. My mind whirs and spins. I wake up wanting to look at my phone, hoping for some love letter or confessions of an attraction having spanned several years. Oh boy, yes. That was a nice note to get from Bjorn the other morning. That sure was a hearty flush of dopamine to my brain. But no more brain chemical candy for Laura. She must sit back on her haunches and wait, settle in, plucking at strands of grass, fiddling with little rocks and sticks. Settle down, Laura. Just relax. Just be here. You don't need anything else. Just relax. So much reaching outward I do, so much seeking of answers all the time. There are 20 gazillion answers out there, I just know it. There are clues and signs and riddles to be solved. There are secret messages hidden like Easter eggs, peeking out from behind framed photos of my childhood and weathered books on the shelf. There are music and song lyrics echoing in my head, bringing memories from so many years ago. The sweet, smoky taste of the mouth of another man from another land who strode confidently on the stage of a giant amphitheater, singing for the masses like some savior. His words smacked of seductive promises, an elixir poured from his lips into my heaving chest. Now calm the fuck down. You've got a serious side to you that can give the whole world a frown. I watched and listened from below among the masses, my gaze raised to him and glowing. I sang out loud with all the other voices, my smile beaming pure rapture, pure light, pure bliss. Let your eyes loose Let your eyes lose their focus a little. Let your guard come down. I sang, I danced, I sweated. I came to realize with time that man didn't have the answers either. Though maybe in those moments on that stage, with all the adoring mortals and me below him, in those moments, perhaps, he felt as though he did. It felt to me as though he might, that I had tasted it on his lips, on his smoky tongue, that it had something to do with love. When the hum and whir recede, when I remove myself from the clatter in my head, always I am reminded, always, 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 the answers lie within. Like a pile of sleeping kittens in a basket, stroke their soft heads, watch their toothy mouths yawn sleepily, let their tiny paws and legs stretch, their needle curls. Oh my goodness, my mouth. Watch their toothy mouths yawn sleepily, their tiny paws and legs stretch, their needle claws unfurl. Watch them rise and tumble from their warm nest of kitten flesh and fur. Watch them come to life, literally come to it, step into it, with curiosity and bumbling awkward bliss. The answers are like kittens. This is how we tumble and hunt and play. We embrace each other with baby needle claws. We bite each other with baby needle teeth. We require nurturing and guidance. We require warm sustenance and sometimes to have our messy faces vigorously licked. We require guidance as well as independence. Then to pile back into the warm nest of our brothers and sisters, to sleep, to dream, to fade away into spirit land while our little kitten bodies grow strong. Hi, Mama Cat. What you doing? Walking very sneaky like. Light beings we are in our little puppet bodies of flesh and bone and fur. I found myself bringing it down on Dan yesterday morning, really speaking my truth. Nope, leave the kitty. Go lie down, please. It's okay, go lie down, pony. You do not need to follow the kitty. She needs some privacy. Yep. Found myself bringing it down on Dan yesterday morning, really speaking my truth. I spoke of my own struggles and also called him out on his saying that he lives, quote, pretty clean, only having a beer, quote, on occasion, or smoking pot, quote, every once in a while, or taking prescription drugs for his pain, and eating gobs of sugar, as he's told me, and binge eating meat. To me, clean is clean, I told him. It does not include these things. I cannot judge another person's pain. I can only exercise compassion for the challenges of managing it. But painkillers, drugs, alcohol, food, sex, social media, these are all just bandages to stop the bleeding of much deeper wounds. These things can never heal our physical bodies, much less reveal our spirits as whole. Dan and I spoke of light, and he told me that I've got it. So much light. I told him I see it in him as well, that I feel it in him. So much light and strength in there, so much power that he can use for good. I hadn't realized that after getting his art degree, he'd gone back to school to study social services. You're a leader, I told him, and when you stand on the stage and play your music, people are looking to you for that leadership, whether you acknowledge it or not. Your actions, your words, your energy, they're taking it all in. This is why I've asked him several times if he is using his powers for good. Always, always, always we may choose to use our light, to use our powers for good. Especially when you've been through darkness, as Dan has, when you've wrestled with addiction and depression and pain, when you understand darkness through experience, you can turn that knowing into strength, into compassion, into trust. Those are qualities that must be earned, must be truly learned. It is not the same to merely read about them in books. To survive the darkness, to go on and learn how to dance with one's demons in full light. Now that is really something, I say. The gift of such insight can bring inspiration, can lend true healing to the world, if that is what one chooses to do with such a gift. You dogs are all so good. These dogs are all really good. They're being so good. Dan spoke of a friend in Wisconsin with a large property that's become too much for them to manage on their own. He said they've talked about him moving there to help with it, to make it a sort of bed and breakfast, and to have live music gatherings there. And I can have my chickens and my goats there, Dan said. I asked what he'd think of creating something of a retreat center, fully putting my own dream on him. Maybe they could offer music and classes, I suggested. Maybe a destination for Outward Bound, or other at-risk youth sorts of programs. He chimed in enthusiastically that maybe his grown son, whom I'd held when he was an infant, could teach classes on our outdoorsmanship and survival skills. I loved it. So many good ideas, so much freaking potential. It was such a heartening conversation, so good to connect with him on that deeper level of truth. I felt genuinely inspired as I got off the phone. Remember this feeling, as Dr. Dispenza says. I hear the creaking of Fisher's bed in the room above my head, and the sun is now rising. Anzu and Apollo are asleep on the guest bed behind me. When it was still dark outside, I'd forgotten how it snowed like crazy yesterday, so when the sunshine began to illuminate the world, it was a pleasant, reminding surprise. Fish and I spent the day indoors yesterday, doing this and that. We both began acrylic paintings on canvas, mine of a client friend's goat named Timber, Fisher of Luna, our friend Melinda's cat. Fisher calls out to me from his bed upstairs. Mama? Yeah, baby, I call back. Love you. His words echo down the stairwell. I love you too, baby, my words echo back. And so the light rises, so the day begins. Thursday, November 26th, 2020, somewhere around 4 a.m. A semi-truck rumbles out from the transport company warehouse across the rocky field at the industrial park. This is what they do every night at 2 and 3 and apparently 4 a.m. Don't they know it's Thanksgiving Day? Shouldn't they be allowed this day off to sleep in, to be with their families if they have them, if that's where they want to be? Who knows what circumstances surround these folks, what brings them out into the cold, dark night in this small mountain town in Colorado, in their huge and grumbly semi-trucks. I reckon there are deliveries to be made regardless of the day. We humans, what curious creatures we are as a whole. Such curious decisions we make. There is so much about humanity, just to start, that I don't know, that I don't understand. In my little tiny world I've created, in my townhouse with my little tiny yard and my little tiny family of animals and young human, I am a huge fan of feeling thankful. That's the one thing I know for sure. I am infinitely thankful for the beautiful man-child who sleeps soundly in his bed above my head. I hear it creak now as he stirs. I am infinitely grateful for this beautiful dog who sleeps curled on the bed behind me, for the cat who moseys into the room quietly, greets me with a gentle meowing hello. He allows me to stroke his soft head once or twice, then levitates gracefully onto the bed. He moves in closely to my lovely Anzu, hunkers into the shape of a purring cat loaf, to close his eyes gently and be still. Kitty! I am infinitely grateful for the peace of this time of night, early morning, for the quiet of the house, for the words which are allowed to flow freely from my mind, my heart, my pen. I am grateful for this path that I am on, for all of its twists and turns and curiosities. Indeed, I am learning. I can feel myself growing. I am thankful for all the opportunities presented to me, to learn, to grow, to ponder all that I see, and also to be still, to be quiet, to be calm, to feel this peace. Happy Thanksgiving Day. I woke up close to 3 a.m. thinking about the book, wondering how it will unfold, feeling some apprehension around it. It is that age-old tale of never embarking on an endeavor for fear of it failing. Well, poop. I suppose if it fails, meaning what? That I don't write it? Or that it ends up being all gobbledygook in the end? That in itself could present yet another glorious opportunity for personal growth. That, and I keep reminding myself, the stars have foretold of great opportunity on the horizon, that there is important work for me to do, should I choose it. When the astrologer relayed these messages to me, it felt so hopeful. It felt aligned with something in me which resonates with truth, which resonates as truth. The little voice I hear when I am still, the voice which says softly, like a tinkerbell of light, "Yep, that's the ticket." That wasn't very soft, was it? Yep, that's the ticket. The opportunity is there for you to seize it, if you will, to cradle it and nurture it and roll with it and let it flow, let it grow. The work, the insight is out there for you to share, to stand beaming as those ripples flow. It is the stepping into action part where I hesitate, the fear of the unknown and daunting tasks of writing a book, of stepping into a new way of thinking, of living, of being in the end, of truly embracing the power of raw and honest creation. That's the part where I'm practicing, and sure appreciate the guidance, spirits. I sure appreciate the help. I appreciate when you rouse me gently at 3 a.m. from dreams of inspiration, even if I don't fully remember them. I remember the sensation of warm fur, the feeling of love and abundance, the nurturing feel of colors, of light, of people, no, beings all around me, gently, just like the rocks, the birds, the trees. I feel supported, guided. I feel replenished and full. I awake feeling alive. So there we have it. What to do next then in these bodies of clay? What do I choose to create today? Health, abundance, support, love, creativity, color, light, and patience, always patience, with myself, with life, with those around me. Most importantly, with my darling, beautiful boy who spins around excitedly like some glimmering berserker. He has so much energy, so many ideas, so many thoughts and words. I desire to be in balance so that I may be of support to him. Please, Mother, please, spirits, please help me to stay grounded, to stay rooted in my strength, so that I may be of gentle support to him, this most magical child, this beaming, glorious light. Please guide us both to our focus, our balance, to our magical powers upon this winding path of life. All right, that's the end of chapter 3. I have been snuck up upon by this darling mama cat whose babies just got taken to the shelter a couple days ago. Do you want to come up here, Mama? Come here. Come up here, baby. You're so pretty. And she's thinking about trying to sneak back by all these sleeping dogs. Oh, this is Penelope. She's here to dry up since her babies are now weaned. I know. Then she gets to go to the shelter to get spayed, and then she gets to go to her forever home, whoever that will be. I trust it will be somebody amazing who takes such good care of her and loves her until the end of days. So, all right, well, that's all. That's all I got for you today. We're gonna go take care of some llamas. Thank you for being here. Yeah, it's interesting, this whole book thing. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I mean, hey, this is also weird. I said it in the book too. It is definitely stepping into a new thing of life for me and figuring out how that works. Still figuring out how that works. So if you dig it, thank you. You know, the YouTube thing says, hit like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you will. I would love it if you could, if you would, if you want to. If you don't, no worries. We'll still see you next time. Did I do this yet? Mwah. Pony says goodbye. See you.